And the Ghislaine Maxwell grand jury records have been cleared for release to the public. Today, a federal judge in New York granted the Department of Justice request to unseal the materials. The unsealing comes after President Trump signed into law the Epstein Files Transparency Act. That was signed last month. This new law compels the Justice Department to release everything it has on the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Kentucky Republican and Chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Congressman James Comer, joins me. Good afternoon, sir. And tell me, these records are different from the records that your committee has gone through. Is that right?
It is. What we've gone through are some records the Department of Justice has sent us. I subpoenaed the Epstein estate. We've gotten all of those documents in. And now what the Trump administration has requested and the courts have agreed to turn over is the grand jury testimony. There are also some other records the Department of Justice has. And then at that point, I think we'll have everything that we've all been waiting to see. And we're going to make everything transparent that we can make, with the exception of redacting the names of some of the victims.
Are you suspicious, having gone through the universe of documents that you have, and I realize you got them from the estate, and you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of pages, but are you suspicious, or do you think that there's going to be something in this grand jury testimony, this transcript? Are you looking for anything in particular? Are you expecting anything in particular?
Well, we're also going through bank records. We've gotten some bank records in. We're going to go through more bank records. I think there's a lot of curiosity as to where Jeffrey Epstein's money came from and how he accumulated such a vast amount of wealth. His estate is worth about $750 million. That doesn't just happen. So we're going to dive into that. We believe that there may be some names that we can accumulate with respect to maybe constructing a list. I'm pretty confident the government didn't have an Epstein list. There's no list that I can tell, and Patel has confirmed that as well. Barr said the same thing, William Barr. There was no list that the government had accumulated, but we believe maybe there's a possibility that we could get some names together of some people that may have been in violation of the law with respect to abusing these women. But at the end of the day, I can say there are two names at the top of the list that did a lot of bad things, and that's Epstein and Maxwell. And obviously Epstein is no longer alive, and Maxwell is in prison, where I believe she belongs.
You said that to redact the names of the victims. You made mention of that. Are you going to redact the names that show up in the files in different capacities, whether they were passengers on the plane or involved in anything nefarious or knew Jeffrey Epstein and did business with him? So it's just the victims' names that you expect will be redacted? That's
my goal, is to just redact the victims' names. We want to be transparent with who was, had any type of relationship with Epstein. One of the things that I think President Trump's always been concerned about is there are people that have maybe been listed as the government as someone who associated with Epstein. They may have attended a party with Epstein or invited Epstein to a party at their house. And the president was concerned that the media or the public would assume that person had done terrible things, but that they were guilty by association but hadn't done anything wrong, and were susceptible to these massive lawsuits that have been filed by the victims, and many are class action lawsuits. Many of the people that Epstein associated with were billionaires. So that's a concern. But at the end of the day, I think the American people have been very vocal, and the members of Congress in both parties, we've been very vocal. We want every name released. And then anyone whose name is released will have an opportunity to defend themselves. They can say, look, I only knew Epstein through social circles in West Palm Beach or social circles in New York City. I never went to the island. I never, violated, any of the women who were violated by Epstein. So people are going to have that opportunity. I think it's unfortunate that, that some names are going to be released that undoubtedly have done nothing wrong, and they're going to have to defend themselves. But at the end of the day, that's the price we're going to have to pay for transparency. And there's just there's too big a cloud of suspicion as to what was going on with Epstein. There's too big a cloud of suspicion as to what role, if any, the government played in a cover-up. And the American people want the truth, and that's what my job has always been with this investigation, is to get the truth to the American people. We've gotten the estate documents out, all of them, and we're going to do the same with all the Department of Justice documents, and hopefully the American people can finally know what happened, and the victims can get some justice that they badly deserve.
You know, it's also, though, I think it's like, maybe, I guess it's the lawyer in me, it's also incumbent upon the media to be smart as they cover this. Knowing Jeffrey Epstein is not a crime. It just isn't.
Right.
Taking a ride on his airplane is not a crime. Going to a party where he is not a crime. Molesting young girls, that is a crime, or in some way contributing to it. And, you know, the media really has to be fair to everybody involved in this, because we're going to get loaded with a lot of documents, loaded with a lot of names, and, you know, we really have to be by being transparent also includes being fair.
That's right, and that's a concern I have. I have zero confidence that the media will be fair, especially to anyone that's a conservative or a Republican that was associated with Epstein. But, you know, again, that's something that I think has been the biggest concern with President Trump with respect to releasing the documents. But President Trump has heard the will of Congress. We were very clear that we want the documents. And again, I think that the people who may have been associated with Epstein, who may have been seen at a restaurant out with Epstein, they're going to have to be prepared to explain themselves. And in many cases, you know, just having an acquaintanceship with Epstein is you know, nothing criminal, but you're going to have to explain it, and that's the bad part about all this. But the good part is the American people are going to know the truth. We're going to know if any American citizens were involved with mischief with these girls. I know there are some foreign citizens. Were there any American citizens? And, you know, at the end of the day, the victims will be able to get justice. They will be able to put some closure to this, and hopefully we'll see some accountability.
And I hope, as you noted earlier, I mean, I hope we find out how this man suddenly became a billionaire, which is,
right.
You know, which is also a little bit. I mean, either he's a brilliant guy or something. There's something odd there. Congressman James Comer, thank you, sir, and good luck, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Greta.
People think news just happens. It doesn't. It happens because there's someone there to capture the moment, to explain it and share it. That's my job. I go where news breaks and give you the facts. Join me for The Record on Newsmax.